to my Agatha Christie weekend. I'm so excited. I'm about to exercise, but I wanted to check in and kick off this video before I do that and then get looking a little bit more presentable. So welcome to a little vlog. This is part of a 24-hour readathon, but I think I'm just going to turn it into an Agatha Christie weekend. I have had 4 Agatha Christies on my shelf that I've been waiting to read for ages, and I've decided that as it's Halloween and I want to read some spooky reads this month, that now is the time to do it. So I started this last night. It's now Saturday morning and it is like the 8th of October or somewhere around there. And I've managed to read the entirety of Murder on the Orient Express, which I have been keeping tabs of on Instagram. It's been really fun. But I still have 3 more books to go that I want to try and read today and maybe tomorrow as well. This was just going to be 24-hour readathon, but I'm going to vlog for the rest of these books and keep you guys updated with how I go. I will be reading Murder in the Mews next, then I will be reading Sleeping Murders, and then I'll be reading Hickory Dickory Dock. That was voted in by everyone who follows me over on Instagram and saw my stories, so make sure you give me a follow if you want to be involved for future voting. But anyway, that's the current plan, so I'm going to go and get ready now, and I will check in with you over the course of today and maybe tomorrow, and we'll see if I can get through all of these Agatha Christies this weekend. It's a little bit later, it's 1 p.m. and I've started Murder in the Mews. In the bathroom, so it's echoey. I'm about to run a bath and read this. I'm about 50 pages in. It's about 378 pages. It's really fun. This one's set on Guy Fawkes Day and it's all about a presumed suicide by gunshot. And because there were so many fireworks, nobody could hear if they actually heard a gunshot over the fireworks. And they don't believe that she killed herself. So I think I've worked out what's going on in Murder in the Mews. I am now this far through, so it's about 120 pages, 130 pages, and I've started the second story in this. So I finished the first one and I was like, kind of feel like the story ended there. And it did. What I didn't know is that this is a collection of 4 short stories. So there are 4 stories in this. And I've just read Murder in the Mews and I'm now onto the incredible theft. So we are heading around, Mum, Dad and I, to look after my nephew this evening. And so it's currently 3 p.m. We're probably heading around for some time around 6. So I'm hoping to sit down for the next 3 hours and finish this and start the next thing, which will be Sleeping Murders. And I'm quite happy with how I'm tracking. Anyway, looking forward to continuing this one. I liked the first one. I think I'm going to like The Incredible Theft more. 5 p.m. now and I have read this much of this book. I am about 235 pages. This is a thrifted copy just to excuse the spine. I have not done that to the spine, do not worry. So I'm currently midway through the 3rd short story now, which is I think going to be one of my favourites. I really liked the first one. It was about a suspected fishy suicide. The second one was about a theft, which was okay, but the theft isn't as exciting as murder, and now we're back to a suspicious suicide again, which is quite an intriguing one, the way that Poirot works it out. So hoping I can get through a bit more. Don't think I'll get through this before we go and look after my nephew, but I will bring Sleeping Murders with me because I will definitely finish this tonight. So it's the evening of Saturday and I'm really close to finishing. It's amazing that I've not finished it actually, but we ended up having some wine and cheese with my sister tonight. So I'm literally like, I think I'm literally like 25 pages from finishing this, so I'm going to do that now. And then I'm absolutely going to start the next book. The 24-hour readathon is technically over as I started this time yesterday. But I've decided to just make this an Agatha Christie weekend and enjoy myself. So hopefully this turns out to be an interesting vlog, but if it doesn't, I just apologise. It is 11:15, it's getting late, I'm getting really tired. I'm going to get ready for bed in a second, but I wanted to update you because I finished Murder in the Mews and I have mixed feelings about it. I've rated it 3.5 stars in the end. So for the 4 stories, I rated Murder in the Mews 4, The Incredible Theft 3, Dead Man's Mirror 4.5, and Triangle at Rhodes 2.5. So some of them I really liked and some of them I just was a bit about. I thought Dead Man's Mirror was by far the best in the collection. It was really good. It felt as satisfying as any other full-length Agatha Christie that I've read. Both that one and Murder in the Mews are about suspicious suicides, and they just have the fun structure of the murder happening, Poirot being brought in, and then the interviews happening with the relevant characters and him putting it all together. And I find that really fun to do because I like the way that Agatha Christie walks you through those ones, as you're not meant to guess it, obviously, but you know that you could if you could put everything together, but then there's always a side character who doesn't get it, and Poirot is like, how do you not get it? And then that side character sort of makes you as a reader feel better that you're not stupid that you didn't get it. Both of those had those elements, but for The Incredible Theft, whilst I enjoyed the sleuthing because the incident does happen at the beginning of that one, it is a theft, it's not a murder, so it's like lower stakes, if you will. I just didn't really enjoy the conclusion when you find out who did it and where they did it. It wasn't like, oh, I was like, okay, that was a bit, I feel a bit neutral over that. But Triangle at Rhodes was so short, it was like not much more than 20 or 30 pages, and it's all about like a love triangle, and you're sort of diverted to look one way when the triangle is not between the people that you think it is, sort of thing. And then obviously murder sort of gets involved with it. So like, I think it could have been a really interesting story, fleshed out more, and considering how short it was, she's done a pretty good job writing a murder, but I just felt a bit about it because Poirot knows that there is murder going to be involved and tries to warn characters and they don't listen to him. So he's sort of like, I knew this was going to happen when it does happen, and as much as it was like, oh, okay, that was a cool twist at the end, overall the story was boring. There wasn't much sleuthing in it, so I was like, nah, I could have just skipped that. So if you're going to read anything from Murder in the Mews, then I would recommend reading Dead Man's Mirror. That was a really good story. That means I'm now moving on to Sleeping Murders. This is such a fun weekend. I'm actually enjoying doing this so much. I'm glad I've turned this into a whole weekend. I have this, and then I have Hickory Dickory Dock left to read. I don't know if I'll get to Hickory Dickory Dock, but I hope so because I think it's a great title. I do have a lot more Agatha Christie's, but not in these nice readable editions. I have collector's editions of further stories. So I'm going to start Sleeping Murders tonight. This one is a full-length novel, and it's a Miss Marple novel as well, and it's 300 pages. It's actually the shortest one I've read so far. I'm really tired though. I had a really, really late night, like 1:30 last night, up so late. So I'm just going to get into this story and then I'm going to go to bed and resume reading in the morning. But for the first half of tomorrow, I am exempting myself from my little readathon weekend because I'm going to be effectively working in the morning. I'm going to be working on video editing and book writing, other stuff like that. So it's a cruel long wait afterwards tomorrow afternoon to continue this one, depending on how long stuff takes tomorrow morning. But I will keep you updated. Welcome to Sunday morning. I am just putting up a list of things to be getting done today. This is a new little system I've got going for myself where I put up stickies and everything on this side is sort of everything that I kind of need to get done today, and these are all things that are like, maybe if I can, that would be great. So it's Sunday morning, which means we're not going to dive straight into reading. We're actually going to start with all of this. Particularly, we're going to be starting with some writing, video editing, and taking my Instagram pictures for the week, and then we'll sort of go from there. So there's other just small things like doing back stretches because I need to do back stretches, that kind of stuff. And then other things like looking through a Lonely Planet book and planning travel and things like that. So basically it is nearly, I think it's about 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to have some breakfast and then I'm going to get into my study, start ticking off all of my creative stuff, bit of work if you will, and we're going to see how that goes. I've not done this before, so I'm not sure how long it will take. I'm sort of anticipating from breakfast to lunch I will be working. It's just sort of to set aside some time for myself every week to actually get stuff done. And then I will be diving back into Sleeping Murders. I think I read maybe the first chapter or so, and it's a perfect read for Halloween because it is about a haunted house. So I'm starting this morning's little session on my laptop, which is what I edit on, and I'm going to get some music going, and I'm going to be editing video. I'll be editing September's wrap up and reading vlog, so I'm excited to finally have some time to get that done. before and I feel like I've been in the kitchen for hours, which is a true fact because I have been making scones and they've been delicious and they've been made, and now I've got a cup of tea and I'm going to actually do a bit more reading. Had a really productive start to my morning. Love this new little regime I've got. Managed to get everything done that I wanted to do, so now it's tuck into Sleeping Murders and we'll see how much I can read tonight. Hopefully it gets a halfway mark. So coming in here to check on things, this can come off my mirror now, and then I literally just put them over here with the ones I've done. Hello little cronks. And then that leaves me with just a few things left to do today. So meditating, stretching, and some Duolingo, which I think I will do in the bath next. So then these are all optional. Haven't exercised today, haven't looked at Lonely Planet for my New Zealand trip, and this is about a gardening book that I wanted to go through. But I think we can tick off Duolingo in the bath. So I think that's what I'll do next before I read more of Sleeping Murder, which I'm really enjoying. I'm at page 75 of it. Really easy reading, really fun. This one is all about a murder that had happened. So the phrase sleeping murder is like a murder that had happened in the past. And so the main character is a newlywed and she moves into this house, buys this house, and then tells her husband about it, but she keeps having like these flashes of memory, and she remembers a murder in the house, and she thinks she's going crazy that she can remember a murder in a house that she's not been in before. So it's like all really fun and very good vibes for October. So it's a few days later because I haven't checked in. I have finished Sleeping Murder, but I didn't quite finish it on Sunday night. So it's taken me a couple of extra days, but I wanted to let you know what I thought. This was amazing. I loved this. This is definitely going to rank highly in like overall in everything I've read for Agatha Christie. I still think that in order of ranking, and then there were None Wins, followed by Murder on the Orient Express, and then Sleeping Murder would be third for me. But there are so many more for me to read. I have so many Agatha Christies on my shelf. This was so much fun though. I thought by the time I got to the end of it, I was convinced that I had outfoxed the Queen of Crime and that I knew how it was done and who did it. And I was totally wrong. So when the reveal came at the end, I just had the wrong person pinned down, and I was like, dang it, I really thought I had that one. But that's what I love so much about Agatha Christie's writing, is that particularly for me in any case, I find it so hard to pin down the solution and the reveal, and it's so exciting when you get that great aha moment as everything comes together. So this was fabulous, 5-star read for me, and it's was also really lovely because it's one of the I think it's the second last Marple novel. So Miss Marple is a bit older in this one, so she also has the funny sort of witty, I don't know, like older attitude. Like she's got less at stake here, and she's a bit exasperated by everything. But I do love the Miss Marple ones. I think this is the second Miss Marple I've read, the other one being The Moving Finger. I think it was that one. So I just love the Marples and the Poirots in equal measure. So thanks for coming along with me as I've done this little Agatha Christie marathon. I didn't make it to Hickory Dickory Dock, but perhaps one day in the future I might read some more if I get time. Throughout the rest of the month, then I might finish it off. But for now, I am moving on to some other sort of darker and spookier reads to change it up for a bit. But that was awesome fun, and I feel like I'm very keen to read more Agatha Christie. I've got some other books like The Christie Affair and the short story collection called Marple to read that are sort of Agatha Christie adjacent. So I'm very much so looking forward to making time for those. So thanks for sticking around, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.